Hello everyone, today I want to show you my new multi-floor elevator that is my redemption arc for the last elevator I made. But anyway, you guys already saw the intro, so let's get right into how to build this thing. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is determine however many floors you want. Of course, you can always add more floors later, but for now it's just easiest to know how many floors you want for the base redstone. So first thing you're going to want to do is decide where you want your bubble column to be. So I want mine right here. So that's where I'm actually going to be going up and down in. And then from there, you're going to want to go out to the right, however many floors you have, plus one. So right here, I'm going to be showing myself making 4 floors. So I'm going to go out 5 blocks because 4 plus 5 is, or 4 plus 1 is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then to the left of your bubble column, go out 1 block to the left, and then 5 blocks that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then go 3 blocks down from here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now just dig out this entire area. And once you've done that, you're ready for the next step. Okay, once you've dug out your area, what you're going to want to do is place a piston just like this, and another one just like that. Now grab a magma block and place it on the right side of that soul sand. Then what we're going to want to do is place some blocks going out to the end of your thing. Yours may be longer than mine, depending on how many floors you have. So then after that, I'm going to just place some observers facing downwards, again, all the way to the end. And then place some blocks with redstone on top. And on this final observer, or I guess first observer, depending on how you look at it, we're going to place a note block under it and take a repeater output from that note block on 2 ticks, run that into another solid block, 2 more blocks, and 2 more pieces of redstone dust. It should look something like this. Okay, and up next we're going to grab some sticky pistons and just place them on those blocks. And when you get to this final observer again, place it right on that note block. Okay, now we're going to grab some solid blocks and go up 1 from that piston and out 1. And then run it down, again, however many floors you have. And for this last one, just come down 1 block, just like that. Okay, now we're going to grab even more sticky pistons, place them facing upwards on top of all of those solid blocks. And then now you can grab either magma or soul sand. I'm going to use magma because I think that's what most people are going to use. And just place it right on top of all these sticky pistons. Okay, up next we're going to go right by our final observer over here and just build up however tall, or to your highest floor, and do that on both sides, again, to your highest floor, just like that. And then you're going to want to grab some walls. They can be stone brick walls, they can be cobble walls, they can be whatever kind of walls you want, and just fill in this entire area with those walls. Okay, and once you're done with filling in all of those walls, we're going to build a kind of encasing around where our bubble column is going to be. So this kind of middle block, it may be magma depending on how much you activated these observers. It doesn't matter, we're going to calibrate those later. But anyway, we're just going to build up, again, to your top floor, just all around this middle block. And just make it so that no water can escape. So just like this. Again, all the way to your top floor. And on this one, I'm actually going to use glass just because I think it looks a bit nicer. And you can just keep going all the way to your top floor. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and fill in these corner blocks as well, because trust me, it's going to make this thing look 10 times nicer. Do that on this side as well. And once you're done with all of that, you should be looking at something along the lines of this. Now what we're going to do on our bottom floor is just extend this wall out to the very end to this block. Yours may be longer than mine, depending on how many floors you have. And just build it up by 3. Now right here, you can use any kind of button you like, but what I like to do is color code my buttons to whatever floor we're on. So we're on the first floor, so I'm going to place the black button right there, and then this will be second floor, third floor, fourth floor. And now we can just grab some trapdoors. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of trapdoors they are. And just place them against these walls. And now when you press these buttons, the corresponding trapdoor should open. Okay, now it's finally time to start with the sweet, sweet redstone. So, first thing you're going to want to do is mark out wherever your second floor is. So I want my second floor to be right here. I'm just going to build out a little platform and extend it at the bare minimum to that block over there. Again, yours may be longer or shorter depending on how many floors you have. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those because this is where I'm going to enter and exit. I'm going to punch out that block. Place a block here with a sticky piston and a magma block right on its face. Okay. Now we want to come out over here and make it so that you're kind of not on top of that magma block, but one back from it. And we're going to place an observer coming out. So it should be on the same level as that piston, leading into a repeater on 3 ticks, solid block, 2 pieces of redstone dust into another solid block with 2 droppers facing into each other, just like this. Place any random junk item into one of the droppers, and take a comparator output from that dropper, solid block, redstone, and 2 torches. Now another solid block with a piece of redstone on top, and a note block right on top of that piston. Okay, now we're going to place a block right here with redstone dust, and get rid of this block, and instead put it down there with a repeater. It doesn't need to be on any delay. Now, on top of that note block, we're going to come out like this and actually grab some slabs, and make sure that when you place the slab, it's above that torch. Alright. Just like that. And now we're going to grab comparators like that. 2 pieces of redstone. A block right here. Another piece of redstone. And a block right here to prevent those 2 pieces of redstone from connecting. Okay, up next, heading back over to this side, we're going to move this block 1 down and place a piece of redstone on top. Now, we're going to build over here, and make sure you do not place any solid blocks next to any of these walls, because then they will extend and mess up your system. So, whenever you're building next to these walls, always use slabs, just like this. So we're on this top one leading into this block, we're going to place a repeater on 2 ticks. And on the bottom, leading into this block, we're going to place a repeater on 4 ticks. Okay, and the final thing you need to do to finish off the redstone for one of your floors is just place a note block right on top of that dropper. Okay, now you can just take all this redstone and copy it and repeat it for all the rest of your floors, except for your very top floor. So your very top floor does not need all that redstone. You can just kind of leave it in its current state. Okay, up next, it turns out I made a tiny little mistake at the very beginning of the video. So you do not need your leftmost sticky piston with magma on it, so you can just get rid of all this and that piston. You do still need this observer and that redstone dust, so keep that there, but you don't need that piston. Okay, so next we're going to surround these magma blocks in any solid block. It does not have to be glass. I'm just using glass because it makes it easier to see what's happening. So just do that. Okay. And now on this kind of lower magma block, just bring it all the way up. And you should notice that when you do this, it's flush with the observer, and that's a good thing. If it's not flush with the observer, you did something wrong, and you need to go back and check your redstone. But anyway, so keep going up, and go to your kind of second to top floor. So right here is where I should stop, because as you can see, this is my second to highest floor. And it should be the final one that you still have redstone on, because you shouldn't have any redstone on your very top floor. So yep. Anyway, so do that with the side as well. just like that. Okay, and up next, we're going to go to the second block, and this block correlates to your second floor. So we're just going to extend the glass, or again, whatever block you choose, up to the second floor, and look at that, we're already there. And just have it kind of flush with that slab. And same thing over here. Okay, and now we're going to take our observers and place it just like that. And again, we need slabs here. Make sure that this is a slab. Place it right there with a piece of redstone dust on top of it. And then kind of encase that observer, because we're eventually going to have water here and we don't want any of it spilling out. Okay, and then from there we can also extend this up. Good. And we're going to encase that, because why not? Okay, and then from here it's kind of the same as what we just did right there. So from this block, go up to the third floor, because that's the third magma block, so it correlates to the third floor. So right here, again, flush with that slab, and do the same over here. And just do that for all of your floors, and you should kind of be getting higher and higher as you go. And then, of course, once you get to your final floor, you can just kind of close this off like this. Of course, we still need that observer right here. And now this time 2 slabs and 2 redstone dust on top. Of course, if you had more floors, then you'd be going more and more and more, and you'd have more and more redstone. And if you exceed 15 floors, then you are going to need to add some repeaters in the middle, but that shouldn't affect anything, so you should be good there. Okay, so again, we're just going to encase that observer because we don't want water leaking out. And yeah, so do that for all your floors, and I'll see you back here with the next step. Okay, and up next what we're going to need to do is fill in all of these empty air blocks with water. Now there are a couple ways you can do this. You can just manually place in all that water. You can place in ice and then break it, but I think the easiest method is just the kelp method, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So first thing we're going to do is just break into here, and if you're using soul sand, then you can just leave the soul sand. If you're using magma, then you need to place some blocks on top. Okay, and then we're going to head up to the top of all of where our water is. And also, if you've dug this out properly, you shouldn't have to worry about the water destroying any of the redstone down here. But anyway, so to the top of wherever the water will be, just place a single piece of water like that. And do the same for your other ones. So right here, it'll be right there. And for this guy, it'll be right here. Okay, now we can just hop inside. And then place kelp going all the way up to the top. Just like that. And you can do that for all 3, or however many you happen to have. Okay, now we just gotta do it for this one. Alright. And now we can just break all those kelp blocks. And replace that. Get rid of these. And just replace the glass. Or again, doesn't need to be glass, whatever block you happen to build it out of. Alright, once you have finished all of that water business, you're going to just want to come to your floors and kind of do a similar thing as what we did on the first floor. So just place that wall, and then this is the second floor, so first floor gray, second floor black, and the rest. Same for my third floor. Just like this. So 1, 2, and then third, fourth. And again, oops, same for the fourth floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then just like the first floor, you're going to want to grab your trapdoors and just place them like this. And I should mention, you don't actually need a trapdoor where the button is. In fact, you really don't even need that button to begin with. It's more of just an indicator of what floor you are currently on, so I like to have it. But whether you have the trapdoor there or not really doesn't matter. It's up to you. So going up here, Don't need it on the third one. And going up here. Don't need it on the fourth one. Okay, swinging back around to the redstone side of things, you're going to want to place a block on top of that observer that runs into that repeater on 4 ticks. Grab another repeater and place it on 4 ticks in that direction. Then grab some solid blocks and place them kind of right behind that repeater, like this. Another solid block and an observer facing downward. Then you want a piece of redstone dust right there, and a trapdoor right under that solid block. Okay, and then you can just grab a slab, or multiple slabs depending on what floor you're on. You might have to run it further, and just hook up that redstone to that repeater on 2 ticks. Okay, and again, same thing over here. I'll show this on camera. Block, repeater full delay, 2 blocks behind, observer facing down, block, redstone, and that redstone will power that repeater, and finally a trapdoor below. Okay, and once you've done that for every layer, you're going to want to go back and to those full delay repeaters that you just laid down and place a solid block in front of them with a redstone torch. And then from that redstone torch, just take an output into a block, into that note block. So, of course, yours might be further along. Your redstone torch might be here. If that's the case, of course, not difficult, just more redstone going into that block. Okay, but for there, it's like that. Now, the very bottom layer is slightly different. Or more so, just the second floor is slightly different. So actually what you're going to want to do is get rid of this repeater, get rid of that block, and instead have it be 1 block higher with that repeater on maximum delay, just like that. And have that going into the solid block with the torch. Turn this block into a solid block, block down there with redstone on top of there. And one last thing I should mention, if for some reason the note block making noise bothers you, you can always just place blocks on top of it to mute it. Alright, we are nearing the home stretch now, so what you're going to want to do next is just grab your signs and place them like this to prevent water from spilling out, and just do that for all of your floors. Okay. Now once we're done with that, we're finally going to go back around here to these sticky pistons we placed earlier, and just place some observers on them facing upwards. Okay, up next, we're going to grab that stair from earlier, and starting on the second floor, we can now hit this button, and we should hopefully see that magma block retract. Yep, there we go. And just place stairs all like this, so all the way up on each of your floors. Oops. Actually, it doesn't really matter the orientation, but you'll see in a second. And of course, you're going to need to block that water in, so just do that like this. Okay, and then up next, we're going to grab some more trapdoors, and on this block right here, punch it out and replace it with a trapdoor, and behind that trapdoor place a slab, and again do that for every layer going up. Oops, so right here. Yep, and usually that trapdoor should already be powered, so that's a good sign, and we need a slab behind it, and don't need to do that for the top floor. And then what you can do is just waterlog both the trapdoor like this and the stair. And do that again for all layers. So trapdoor, stair, and don't need to do that for the bottom. Alright, and the final step of building this elevator is to just turn all of these water blocks into water source blocks. And again, the easiest way to do that is with the kelp method, so we can just switch this over to soul sand by pressing not the first button, any of the other ones. And then we can just place kelp going up, and it should boost us up as we go. Actually, no, it can't. Never mind. But you can just swim your way up. That works just fine. And we can go all the way to the top. And actually, I should have placed a water up here. And once that reaches, we can keep carrying that all the way to the top. Okay, and then if we head back down switch that over to magma. We should see, once all this kelp comes down, come on. Alright, we should see that if we press button 3, we should go to floor 3. Yep, there we go. If we press floor 4, we should go to floor 4. And if we want, press floor 1 or floor 2 or whatever floor, should go down to that floor. Well, or we would have gone to floor 2 if I didn't exit. But anyway, that's about it. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.